Texting, 857-6019 are back for segment 2. IDD for those of you in the know. I don't disagree. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, hopefully not the last time, the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo. The highly questionable Ajay Miliaccio. We will not screw up this fucking intro, boys and girls, because we're going to start with NFL. We are 6 days from training camp.
I'm hands off the intro.
6 days from training camp, boys and girls. It is right here. We're knocking on the door. It's coming.
When does it start? Next Monday?
17th, the rookies report.
17th. What is that, Tuesday?
What's today, the 11th? 6 days. Monday. Monday.
Okay.
So next Monday. And we're going to start off with, look at, DeAndre Hopkins is still out there. Dalvin Cook is still out there. Saquon Barkley has not signed.
Come on, Saquon.
Now, I learned something the other day, and we mentioned off the air, but I want to talk about this again, because if they don't reach a deal by midnight on the 17th, the only way he plays is under the salary, is under the franchise tag for this year, and they cannot negotiate until the end of the season. At which time, the Giants would have the chance to franchise him again for 1 more year, or which would, oh my God, can you imagine that?
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up. But that's the thing. But it's 2 years.
That's
and they
really fucked up.
It's 2 years, and they can't do it again. They can't do it again. They do it for 2 years, and that's it. So, but the point is, what if it came to that? I mean, I hope it doesn't for the sake of you.
I mean, I don't think it will come to that.
12.5 is a fair offer. Right?
Yeah.
We still think that, right?
No, it goes back to, and I've said this from the beginning, I believe the salary cap should be increased massively, and you should pay these
it has been
guys.
going up.
I know, but still.
Like every couple of years it goes up.
It's crazy to think that Daniel Jones is going to make 3 times what Saquon makes. Now, I get it. Quarterback, he is the offense, basically. Throwing and running.
There are left tackles making more than Saquon Barkley is going to make.
Right. And why?
There are wide receivers.
Right. And why?
There are defensive ends.
He is as important to that team
I agree.
as anybody else on that team.
To me, it shouldn't be based on position.
Exactly.
It should be based on importance.
Merit.
And I agree, he is one of the 2 most important people on the team.
Without him and
the other
Jones.
being the quarterback.
Right. So
they're paying the quarterback accordingly. Pay the I get
right,
look
right.
I get it.
So that's my only thing to say is that I understand you feel like you are worth more. You are. However, in this market, look at what everybody's getting paid.
Look at you were even talking about at one point the Titans were exploring possibly trading Derrick Henry. So think about that for a minute. I mean, the bottom line is that this is with the NFL is strictly.
Older, though, isn't he?
I think he's 29, 28. I think Saquon's 26, right?
Yeah. At least.
The thing is, with that sport, which has a hard cap, unlike baseball, and the NBA has a luxury tax. Compared to those two, it's got a hard cap. That position is it's not about your performance. It's about, can we get a guy to get similar performance at less money?
Right.
That's
and
what they do.
Considerably less.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is the thing.
The difference is you pay a running back 12.5, or you draft a rookie and pay him like
7, 6.
If that as a rookie.
Yeah. Because the rookie deals.
You get a guy in a third round.
Yeah, the rookie deals are really. If you're in the first round, you're guaranteed to make big money. If you're not,
then it starts
drops
to tail off
drastically after the second round. Second round's good. Third round's where it starts to drop. But to your point, you can find a capable back in the third or fourth
round.
You can.
Who turns out to be
and
a fucking
look,
beast.
That's good business. I'm not.
Yes, I get it.
This is all. It's not just Saquon that's feeling your point. The highest paid running back in this league makes what, $17 million a year.
Josh Jacobs is a threat to not play.
He hasn't been picked up by anybody. Because if you're, this is what everybody's asking about the Patriots.
Has he signed it with the Raiders yet? Did he sign his, or is he holding out?
He's holding out.
Yeah.
The thing is,
they're gonna sign.
The people are talking about the Patriots and Dalvin Cook, and the thing is, the Pats have a 25-year-old guy who's a 1,000-yard rusher on a third of this money. They don't. Why would you do it? Like, I get the DeAndre Hopkins thing because they don't have a true number 1 right now. They've got a number 2 and number 3, and this Tyquan Thornton could be a number 1. We'll see what happens. But they don't. That guy is a established number 1.
But what's Dalvin Cook looking for right now? $6 million, or is he looking for?
He wants a contender first. He's willing to take a pay cut to play. Now, pay cut doesn't mean he wants to be.
Doesn't mean he wants to be done.
Yeah, no, he probably wants to be in the $8 to $9 million range
for a year.
For 1 year, probably.
Jeez,
and
he's a good fucking back.
And nobody is offering this.
What the fuck?
The Miami Dolphins, who we can't even name who Miami's fucking tailback is, aren't offering it. So what does that
I have
tell
zero
you?
idea who they're.
What does that tell you about the running back position has fallen?
They
so
just
far.
devalue the shit out of it.
I mean, one point we were talking about Emmett and Barry, and now it's like, what the fuck happened to that? That position was sacred. It was sacred forever, and then the forward pass just took over. Yeah. And that started in the 80s with the Montanas and the Marinos and the Elways and the Jim Kellys and guys like that. Joel, that running decade. Fucking unbelievable. That's Randall Cunningham, Joel. Hello. So the point is,
well, he was running.
Jerry Rice. There was some guy named Jerry Rice running around in that decade too. But whatever. The bottom line is that this started in the 80s, actually late 70s with Roger Staubach and the Cowboys and Terry Bradshaw and the Steelers. This started going that way. So, yeah, it's fallen far. And the thing is, you'd think if you can catch the ball out of the backfield, be a 3-down back, you're like in a passing league, you're like Dalvin Cook should be even more valuable.
Yeah.
McCaffrey, guys like that. I mean, so
dude,
and Saqaun had a year like that.
And Dalvin Cook is what made Minnesota a top-tier offense.
Yeah, he was.
Because they had the number one receiver.
Yep.
They had the number one fucking back.
Thielen was on the other side. The other receiver.
Yeah,
Thielen.
and then they had the tight end.
Yeah.
At
the guy from Detroit that they traded for at midseason.
Right.
Yeah, Hawkins. Whatever his name.
What the fuck is his name?
Something Hawkinstein.
Hawkinson?
Hawkinstein. Something like that. Big fucking dude. Long, very talented player.
Yes.
I can't believe that Detroit let him go.
But for them to have that top-tier talent on all three levels, and Dalvin Cook was up there with those guys. Not as good as Jefferson.
No.
Jefferson
is a top two. Top
tier.
Yeah, he's top two. He's tier one.
Yeah.
Tier
one. No
tier one,
doubt.
definitely. So the bottom line is, but they had a ton of talent on that offense. But Dalvin Cook was that all do everything.
Yes. He could catch the ball.
And again, salary cap reasons, they cut him because he had a big cap hit this year in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Would have. So
I wonder if they drafted a back.
I'm sure they did.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap.
Motherfucker's huge. Why didn't you kill that fucker?
I'm trying to.
Oh my God, he's enormous.
Get out of here.
Fuck.
Where is he? He's down by
my feet.
Step on it. Crush it.
I don't have my sandals on. You just witnessed a murder, folks.
And then you kicked him out of the club.
You just witnessed a murder. I just smacked a bug, and my partner stomped him out. And now I was looking like a little bitch. Okay, because the thing was by my feet.
That thing was up on the screen, boy.
I smacked
that
it,
thing was
though,
a fucking,
and then RJ came to my rescue.
a dinosaur.
Yeah, that was fucking Mothra combined with fucking...
What the fuck is that thing? Anyway, but yeah, the running back position, Saquon Barkley, I get it in principle.
Right.
But the bottom line is, if they're offering you $12.5 for 3 years, fucking take it and
fair
run.
for the market, yeah.
Take it and run.
And hopefully
Saquon.
something in the 20s guaranteed.
Yeah, and by the way, he's got bonuses that can bring it up to 14 mil, maybe 15 a year. So if
Is
you
that
stay,
true?
yeah,
Dude.
with incentives, it could be as high as 14 million in year one of that deal.
So I think he's going to sign it.
I can't see why he wouldn't. His agent couldn't be telling him to not sign this.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that. You said it yourself. He doesn't have the resume to do this. I said it. He can't. He doesn't have a resume to sit back
But
and go.
nobody really does. Because we have seen it in the past. When a running back sits for a year, their career is never the same. So as much leverage as you can have to say, I'm not going to play, which is some leverage.
The second
But you're not going to make more money if you do that. You're going to make less money.
The second, yes. The second, they called it, Houston was the first one, the run and shoot offense. The second an offense put 5 receivers out there for the first time, the running backs' days were numbered. It just, and if you got the run and shoot,
There's a chance for bigger plays.
Warren Moon and that run and shoot, and then Jim Kelly with the K gun, that Buffalo offense that had Thurman Thomas, that dude was a fucking beast. And they had Lofton on one side and Andre Reed on the other. Oh my God, those two offenses to me, and Elway of course, and Marino were just this had already. And then you had Montana with Jerry Rice.
I don't mean to interrupt,
but
the wildlife tonight
is crazy.
I mean, there's a giant toad out there, another dinosaur.
You'd think we're in the fucking Brazil, the Amazon River.
The Amazon.
Fucking ridiculous. I mean, there's a giant toad over there.
The fucking bugs out there.
I don't want to squash him. That would be a ugly.
Oh, have you ever stomped on a toad?
Not on purpose.
Oh, by accident?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would feel that through my whole body.
It's a squish. It's a squish.
I would feel that through my whole body.
and you better have boots on.
Ugh.
Because if it's not
Heavy
a boot,
boots.
yeah, if it's not,
Oh God! Did you accidentally step on
It was
one
accidental.
with a sneaker?
I backed up and
With a sneaker?
the blood, the guts shot out the side.
Oh
of
God, dude!
awful.
I can feel it.
It was awful.
Oh,
and I stepped. I was like, "What the fuck was?"
Dude.
It was like, you know when you think you shit your pants.
Oh God! Oh man!
But
Stop.
and you're like, "Did I shit my
Stop.
pants?" And you're like, "Thank God."
Stop! This is driving me crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
Fuck.
Well, he's right over there. I don't want to do that. So anyway, get out of here.
I remember when I was a kid, my cousins from Italy were here. Yeah. We were in our backyard, and the same fucking thing happened. My cousin he went to step, and he didn't speak. Maybe he did speak.
But he didn't mean to do it.
No, and he just
get
and
out of
it was
here.
like,
I don't want to step
ew.
on you.
It was so gross when he stepped on him.
Very scary.
But I didn't.
Get out of here.
No, let him be.
He's not bluffing. Go.
Let him be.
I want him out.
He is
I
out.
don't want him coming in the garage.
Get a broom or something.
Hold on.
Just be careful. He looks like a nice fella.
He does. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to accidentally step on him.
All right, so he's got a broom. It's not a push broom. It's a drag sweepy broom.
Go.
He's tickling him. Oh, he's sending him out. All right.
Take him out of the club. Go.
Man, RJ is really fucking.
I don't want to step on him.
He's really the alligator hunter tonight. We're gonna call him fucking. What was his name? Steve Austin.
What?
No, what was the Australian guy's name?
The dude that was on TV?
Yeah, the crocodile hunter, Steve.
I know who you're talking
It
about.
wasn't Steve.
Yeah, the shaggy hair.
It wasn't Steve Austin. He ended up dying. He got stung by a stingray.
Yeah, he was an outlaw. He was a wildlife guy. Like a nature guy.
Crocodile hunter? Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
I'm not Steve Irwin. I wouldn't go swim with a bunch of.
No, but I
fucking-
mean tonight you've taken out a dinosaur bug.
that thing was huge.
You've taken out a prehistoric toad. I mean, what's the next challenge?
I didn't kill him. I just
You
brushed
didn't-
him.
Oh, you did kill. I forgot you did kill the one.
That was an accident.
No,
I was backing
I'm
up.
talking about the bug.
Oh, that one I killed.
You killed the bug.
He jumped on my set.
I know. We
At
jumped.
that
We
point-
jumped him.
Yeah, he jumped
I'd
on my.
smack
If he
him.
had stayed off my set, he'd probably still be alive right now.
Sometimes things got to get handled.
You can't be over here flying around fucking up our recording.
If you're a bug on the set of IDD, you're done. Your days are numbered.
You're talking about two Italians.
Right.
If you're a bug, why would you go near that
We don't
set?
do bugs.
You know how those Italians do things. Swiftly.
Take out the bugs.
Yeah. Take him out.
All right.
That bug sleeps with the fishes.
So
Anyway,
Saqaun, I hope you sign this.
so he's got 6 days. If he does not sign, well, if he doesn't negotiate, if they don't come into a deal in 6 days, he has to play under the franchise tag. They cannot negotiate until the next
That's
season.
such a risk for him.
Yeah.
That gives the team more power. That earns you
He'll
less
have
money.
more power. I mean, they'll have more power.
Yeah.
He misses 4 or 5 games.
Not good.
It's gonna
hurt his performance.
It's gonna hurt. He's gonna take the deal.
It's gonna hurt his performance.
Take the fucking deal.
And
I'm a Pats guy, and I'm telling you,
Right.
take the
And if
fucking
he hurts
deal.
his performance, then he hurts his chances to make more money.
I'm saying he's gonna kill himself.
Yeah.
If he
Yeah, he should sign it.
12-5 for 3 years is more than fair.
Dude, and Saqaun with endorsements and shit, he's got to be
I'm
raking
saying,
it in,
and
right?
if he stays healthy,
He's a big face.
and
big
they
name.
perform, he's gonna get money other ways.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys.
Saquon is marketable as fuck.
Where's he is? In New York?
He's in New York.
Yeah. And if they win, like they went on that run last year, oh fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I got news for you: this tight end stays healthy.
Dude, I hope he stays.
I'm
healthy.
telling you, the Giants are going to be for real this year.
So I know you've been saying that. I'm a little scared about the receiving core.
You liked
lot
this
of-
kid they picked up from Buffalo.
No, I'm not saying I don't like the guys, but they're all unproven.
Last year they went to the second round of the playoffs. That's called baptism by fire. Common sense would tell you, you add a tight end of this guy's caliber, and the kid they drafted looks like he's the real deal. They should be better this year than they were last year. They just should.
I hope you're right.
It's a year. They got, dude, there's no better experience than playoff experience. That's a fact. I don't care who. They literally, that team was not supposed to make the fucking playoffs. Here they are in the final 8. What could be better? That's the best thing that could have happened to you. As a fan, that those guys got into that fucking scenario. Okay, Philly blasted them pretty good. They didn't show up. But the bottom line is, you learn from that. They weren't supposed to be there. They were playing with house money.
Okay, so I get it. I get all
So-
that. I'm just saying I take a cynical side because you know me, and I don't want to overestimate because then I'll be disappointed.
I am the most
And from
cynical
my view-
fucking football
right.
fan on the planet.
Right. So you understand what I'm saying.
I do, but I'm just saying, if I'm saying to you,
Objectively, that's how you feel.
if the Pats had the year they had last year, I'd be very optimistic. I would be. Because the thing is, that experience you can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
You just can't. And then you add a guy.
I mean, that's true.
You can't. It's
But their
immeasurable.
defense struggled last year.
Well, look at didn't they
gotta
draft
get
a lot of
better.
defense? Didn't they draft a lot of defense? Did they bring any free agents?
So their first pick was a corner.
Well, that means something. If the first pick in the draft is that's telling you they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Corner, where'd
The
they
Pats.
go to?
The Pats' first 3 picks were defense.
So, yeah. See, so the Giants were corner, center, receiver.
They needed all 3.
And they did. Yeah,
They needed all 3.
did.
So they did the right thing. They went after those. They targeted those areas.
But you
and they
never
dra-
know what
No,
those
you don't
people
know.
are
But the
gonna
bottom
do.
was they were obviously the first 3 picks. Those are priorities. That's telling you where the priority is.
Yeah.
So they knew it and they addressed it. Let's see if they made the right
I
choice.
was actually surprised they didn't go receiver first, and I think it was a smart move. Because it's easy to look at this team and go, okay, a number 1 receiver would take us to the limit. However,
Well-
if you can't block people off your quarterback, doesn't mean shit.
Doesn't mean shit.
And if you can't stop people on the other side of the ball, it doesn't mean shit. So the fact that they went corner center
I'm telling you.
and then said, all right,
you-
we still have a high value
If you
receiver
think
here.
about this
that is good.
from team
Those are
building in
good
the NFL,
picks.
think about where the game is now in the NFL. It's a passing league, right? So there's 2 things you have to think about. Offensively, number 1 thing, got to protect my passer. That's number 1 thing.
Yeah.
And center is the most important line position. So if that's not solidified, he better be one of your first 3 picks. He better be. And then the second thing, passing league, you got to have a shutdown corner. One of their first 3 picks was a cornerback.
I don't know if he's a shutdown.
Well, if he was one of the top 3 picks, they think he can be.
Yeah.
Because you don't draft a guy that high to be like a third down fucking.
He was a
defensive guy.
Maryland guy. Banks, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Deontay
Okay.
Banks.
Well, again, you don't draft a guy that high if you don't expect him to play.
Yeah.
Just saying. So, and I'm not talking about a nickelback. You're not drafting a nickelback with your first, second, or third. You're not doing
Getting
that.
a nickelback 5th round.
That's 5th round. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So the bottom line is that was a priority. And then receiver. Of course. So the
But
Giants
it's just so
knew.
funny to me that a receiver that won the Biletnikoff Award is shit on so much.
This draft, really the last 4 or 5 drafts, have been incredibly deep at the receiver position. Incredibly.
But a lot of what I hear is like Jalen Hyatt
Because
is not that good.
For
He's
2
just
reasons.
speed.
For 2 reasons. Okay. One, okay, the quarterbacks now are running more pro sets in college. So when they come to the pros, they're ready to hit the ground running. Whereas before they weren't.
They're already throwing
They're
the ball
already
all
throwing.
over the place.
They're already throwing the ball all over the field. They're already.
Receivers are
They're
running
already
routes.
doing no huddle. They're already doing 2-minute drill. They're already doing all these fucking things that NFL quarterbacks do. They're seeing multiple defense, all this shit. So that tells you, well, you got to have the manpower on the outside to feed that kind of a league. So the receiving position, the development of that position over the last 4. Look at the number of receivers taken in the first 3 rounds of the past. And you tell me I'm a liar. I'm telling you that the Giants have those needs and they addressed them with their first 3 picks. Let's see how well they did. But it stands to reason. The guys the tight end was a good addition. The kid they brought in from Buffalo last year looked like he can play. He can play.
Isaiah Hodgins.
Yeah, he can play. Slayton can play. So, and you've got, if I'm Saquon Barkley, this is going to help me because they can't always put 8 in the box. So sign the fucking deal and stop fucking around. Swallow your goddamn pride. Because honestly, this is about pride.
That's
right
what
now.
it feels
That's all it is at this point. I'm going to hold to the last fucking second. They fucking, why? What are you proving here?
Yeah.
And if you're the Patriots, look, this is going to shock you. Yeah, he's not going to believe me, but I've been thinking this for about.
Have another one of these.
Yeah, of course you can. I've been thinking this honestly since I got back from the Cape, because when I talked about this with Ian,
I haven't watched your show with Ian yet.
when I talked about this with Ian, and I didn't say it on the air then, but it was in the back of my head, and I started thinking about it. But I was like, I can't say this shit because to me at that point it was a knee-jerk reaction. I said I got to let this marinate for a couple of days and see if I still feel this way.
About the Patriots?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A big part of me now doesn't want them to sign DeAndre Hopkins. And I'll tell you why.
Cold feet.
It's not cold feet. I think with what they currently have on the roster, and they have a coordinator who knows his job. He's good at his job. He's been good at it everywhere he's been. And it doesn't matter what the talent is on that team, he gets the most out of it. Everywhere he's been. That's his track record as a coordinator. So I firmly believe, based on his history now, this isn't me pulling this out of thin air. I've looked at the performances I've been actually doing research on this. Because my instinct was, and again, part of it was, Matt Patricia was so fucking bad. He could fuck
Bill
up a free
O'Brien the
lunch.
guy that sent him out of Texas?
After 6 years together.
But did they have a falling out? Or
No. This is the other thing. When Diana Rossini, this was before, we talked about this before I went on vacation, that they had both been asked that question, and they both said the same thing. We don't have a beef. Well, I don't hate that guy. I don't hate that guy. I was like, no, we were. They said there was no beef. A man saying you don't have a relationship outside of work doesn't mean you don't get along. Right. It's just you have a professional relationship. Everyone takes that as, oh, they hate each other. Well, if they hate each other, how was he so damn productive? Yeah. Why did O'Brien keep calling his number if he hated him so much? Why didn't he get him out of there sooner? They hated each other.
I had heard there was bad blood on that.
No, what Hopkins said, because again, he said we had no relationship outside of football. That's all he said. He didn't say I couldn't stand the guy. He didn't say the guy couldn't stand me. He said we were professional. It was a professional relationship. There was no relationship outside of football. That's what he said.
So he didn't say it with a negative connotation?
No, he didn't say we couldn't stand each other.
Like, it's like, so how do you do y'all get along? And he wasn't just like...
He just said we had no relationship outside of football. It almost sounds like, well, I don't even know what he's like outside of football because we had a work relationship, that was it. And whether that was by choice or not, that doesn't mean that the man hated me or I hated him. They just had a professional
Okay, I'm sorry, I derailed it. Yeah. So why now... do you think they'd be better off without him?
I'm not saying better off. I'm saying I don't care if they say that. I don't think it's going to matter.
So you're not hinging the season on the signing.
I don't think he's going to be what puts them over the top or not. Now look, would he be a good addition? Yes, of course he would if he's healthy.
That's a big change.
Of course, but here's why. When I look up and down this roster at who they've got, the positions they've got them in, these guys have all had success before. All of them. Okay? Hunter Henry was a very good tight end coming out of San Diego, or rather L.A.
Where'd they get him from?
Gesicki he came from the Chargers. Hunter Henry.
Gesicki's better than him, though, right?
Gesicki is coming out of Miami. He's been very productive. You look at Juju Smith-Schuster, look at his career averages. He's been very productive. Devontae Parker, who just signed that 3-year extension, was a 1,000-yard receiver in Miami. He's 26, 27 years old.
That's what Joel... I don't know if Joel texted it. He was talking to me on the phone. He's like, I started to get worried about the Patriots because I forgot about Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember who Devontae
Parker was. They've got a lot of weapons. Yeah. And then they've got some 6'2.5" guy who runs a 4.2.
And then they got Stevenson.
They have a 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield who's 25. The defense was top 10. Look at the Pats' defense. They said in the AFC the Pats have the best bookend pass rushers, Judah and Uche. One at 15.5 sacks, one at 11.5 sacks. They're beasts. And now they added a shutdown corner who's 6'1" on the outside. I mean, don't sleep.
Who did they add?
Gonzalez from Oregon there, from the Pac-10. 6'1.5" fucking cornerback.
Did they also
he was number one.
Or was that the Cowboys?
That was the Cowboys who signed Gilmore.
Gilmore.
So the Patriots got younger, bigger, more physical, and faster on both sides of the ball. They added a great offensive coordinator with a track record of winning, whose resume is not hitched to Tom Brady's bandwagon. He's won a national championship without Tom Brady. I'm just saying. You look at, he knows how to, whatever it is you give him to work with, he will get the most out of it. That's his track record.
So and that's without this season.
That's without DeAndre Hopkins. Now, if they get him, okay, yeah, he makes them a favorite.
A big part of this season is going to be trying to determine the push-pull, the reciprocation. Trying to find the word for it. None of what I just said makes any sense. But trying to understand the difference of Patricia and Judge running it and Bill O'Brien.
This is beyond.
What is the flip on that? How many wins is that?
Detroit was 6 games better without Matt Patricia. And the quarterback went from who is that to who is that? Oh, that guy went to the Super Bowl. What the fuck happened to him? Matt Patricia's what happened to him. It's fucking that simple. Sometimes the simple answer is the right
So
one.
did
You don't have to
Patricia-
overcomplicate this, boys and girls.
Did Patricia ever have Goff?
Yeah, he fucking
Understand.
destroyed him.
So Stafford
And then-
left, won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Then Goff really isn't good then,
Anymore.
Then he leaves.
And Goff has Pro
is
Bowl.
great.
Yeah. Stafford and Goff and Mac Jones. That's all I have to say. And I've been saying this all summer long.
Now Stafford was a much more accomplished quarterback.
But he
before
fucked
Patricia
him
ever
up.
Got there.
He fucked him up too the one year he was there. He fucked him up. He leaves. He went to Super Bowl.
He only had Stafford for 1 year.
1 year, and then he had Goff for the next two, and he fucking destroyed Goff. And then he leaves, and suddenly Goff looks like the guy that took the Rams to the Super Bowl all of a sudden.
Yeah, Goff.
You think that's a fucking
Goff
coincidence?
isn't great, but he was
good.
really good last year.
And I can news to you, he's going to be better this year.
Maybe.
I think he will be. I think Detroit's going to be in the playoffs. I'll tell you right now, they'll be one of the 17.
Detroit did work in the offseason.
Yes, they did. They drafted a lot of defense. They knew what their problem was, and I'm telling you right now, they put
They added offensively. What back did they
Think about
sign?
this. They put up 35 on the Eagles.
Who's the back that they signed?
I forget, but he's good. The kid from Alabama. They brought in the kid from Alabama. They drafted him.
I thought they signed
I
somebody.
believe they
too.
drafted. I think they might, but they drafted that kid. I'm telling you, Detroit, and most of their picks were defense. They got the kid from Michigan last year who was the Outland winner for the best defensive player in college football, and he had a good rookie year. I'm telling you right now, the Detroit Lions are going to be very good this year. They're going to, and the NFC is depleted. Rodgers is gone. Brady's retired. I'm telling you, the Giants are going to be better. Detroit's going to be better. There's still San Francisco, and it looks like Purdy's going to be healthy to start the season, so they'll be out there.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting, but the thing is, I'm telling you that the Lions, don't sleep on the Detroit Lions.
They got David Montgomery.
From Chicago. I had him in fan. He's a stud, dude.
Yeah, he's a one.
They're going to be filthy.
And they already have Jamal Williams. Remember, Jamal Williams had
Detroit is going
15
to that
touchdowns?
dude, Ozzie Brown, the right receiver. He's filthy.
They let go DeAndre Swift. That's how strong they are at running back right now.
The Detroit Lions are going to be filthy. They're going to win the NFC North. I'm telling you that right now.
They fucking better.
They are. Well, Minnesota doesn't have Dalvin Cook anymore, and no one's going to tell me that fucking clown Cousins is a winner because he's not.
That's what I'm saying. That they better win that division.
I think
Detroit.
they're going to, convincingly, because Minnesota didn't. Minnesota still has no defense. Still can't stop a nosebleed. And Green Bay without Rodgers, no. I think Love can be a good player eventually, but he's not going to be him. And then
Rodgers covered up.
And
a lot
then
of warts on that
Chicago.
team.
Chicago is just it's like the island of misfit toys.
Do you think they're going to start to get good soon?
The quarterback is good?
Is Fields going to?
He's
grow?
legit. They drafted a receiver, right? They got to get him a one. He's like
No, Chicago did a lot. I feel like.
Well, did they draft a number one
Remember
receiver?
because they traded the first pick and got multiples.
Yeah, they did. I believe they drafted a receiver, a good one.
Let me see Chicago.
So offensively, I think they'll be better. I don't know about their defense.
Which is funny because
Chicago's
been known for their defense for so long.
Here's a hot take for you. My NFC East or my NFC North predictions: Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota, Green Bay. And I got news for you: Minnesota, Green Bay is going to be a rock fight for third place because they're going to have about the same record probably. Because I still don't think Minnesota can stop a nosebleed. Dalvin
You
Cook,
think Minnesota is going to be fighting with
Green Bay for the cellar?
Really?
Yeah, because Green
So
Bay.
you don't think there'll be separation there?
I think Chicago's going to shock some people because of their draft, and the quarterback is going to take off, and he had a very good year last year. And Detroit is definitely for real. Detroit is definitely for real. They proved it last year when they went into Green Bay with nothing to play for, and they bitch-slapped the Packers who had everything to play for.
And they didn't back off it.
Not at all.
They drafted like they want to continue it, and they signed.
And you called this.
The coach.
You called this last year.
That was after watching Hard Knocks.
You said
Everybody liked him.
No, but you said there was something different about this guy. You liked it.
He was good.
Yeah, you didn't know. You didn't say that he was going to succeed, but there's something different about this dude. I like the way. I like his style. And it turned out to be right because that looks like a night. Oh, again, it was Matt Patricia, then him. So it's amazing how that seems to happen to him everywhere he leaves. Have you noticed that? Bit of a track record there, America. So, the Patriots.
They got DJ Moore.
Yeah, from Carolina.
They got DJ Moore.
Who's legit. He's legit.
So they traded the first pick, got DJ Moore, and I think
and they drafted
more
a
picks.
receiver. They also drafted a receiver. I'm telling you. But with regard to the Patriots, they've got talent all up and down this roster, and people are starting to look at it. And I'm telling you right now, and Bill Belichick is on the hot seat.
Yes, he is.
He is on the hot seat. The story came out from Ben Volen. Somebody on Facebook, one of our subscribers, thank you, sent it to me. But the thing is, I talked about this with Ian over the weekend. I said that Kraft and him had a meeting, and in no uncertain terms, Kraft gave him an ultimatum. And it turned out that that's what people think did happen. Because at that party, that white white uniform party at this guy Ruben's house, he was there with Mac Jones was there with Robert Kraft. People say the Krafts love Mac Jones. They fucking love him, and they've been pissed at Bill for what he did to him last year. And this is the thing. Kraft is pissed at Belichick. He is fucking pissed. He is openly double dog daring him to resign. Going, oh really? We didn't spend money? You never asked for it. Like, you're not going to pin this on me. You're the one who fucking thought Brady was done, you donkey. And you were wrong about that. Okay? No. Kraft took a shot across the bow. And this guy's like, and I said to Ian on Saturday, Kraft has to get in the playoffs and win at least one playoff game or his job is in jeopardy. This guy literally said the same thing on this story this morning. He does. They think that, and by the way, Belichick's people in his camp think he's on the hot seat too. Which means that conversation happened.
Yeah.
I don't know when it happened, but it happened, okay? And Robert Kraft made it very clear to Bill Belichick, you, my friend, are now on the clock. Because he said, and I quote, look, it'd be nice to, because they would ask about him catching Don Shula. He's like 17 wins away from it. And Kraft said, look, I'd like to see Bill do it, but we're not going to do this winning 7 or 8 games. We need to be a contender. I don't want to see him do this in a 7-win season or a 6-win season. No, it's
All right,
not.
you continue. You know where I got.
Oh, it's the annual talk. Wait, brought to you by Diet Pepsi. Tom's annual bladder break. Brought to you by Diet.
Not even our favorite.
I know.
I send them into the
Well,
bathroom.
you know. Well, I'll
Just
tell you
regular
what.
old Diet
When we
Pepsi.
record again later in the week, we're going to have the doctor here.
Dude, I owe.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You don't owe.
I owe.
He thinks he owes.
gotta buy
The guy's practically family.
I
Thinks
might
he
not be able
owes.
to buy it this week.
I am, and I am. It's that simple. So anyway, yeah. So Kraft has, in no uncertain terms, unofficially, because nothing was made public, but the warning, the ultimatum, I think, has been given to Belichick. You need to win now. You can't cry rebuilding or poor. No. This is year 4. We drafted a quarterback at 15. He's made a Pro Bowl. We've got a top 5 defense potentially. We've got 2 tight ends. We got a guy 4-2 from Baylor that your buddy there fucking was using for bubble screens. That dumb shit. That fucking dipshit Patricia. Only a fucking delusional dumbass would look at a guy that big, that fast, and go, you know what, a bubble screen should work here. Not, you know what, how fast is his 40 time? Go. Just go and we'll see if we can outthrow you. Just unbelievable. Unbelievably stupid. So Kraft has clearly had enough. And when you have a franchise worth over $6 billion, you expect results. Because he puts that kind of effort into that team. And if you doubt that, you don't know the stadium that I grew up going to watch this guy. It was a toilet. It was a fucking toilet. How they call it the Jewel of New England, that fucking stadium. So Kraft has invested the money, and now he wants results. And by the way, he's an owner. And he should he's not Daniel Snyder. I'll just fucking rake in the money and I don't care. No, he wants to put a winning product on the field. He wants championships. And that's the kind of owner you want, boys and girls. The guy who wants fucking champions. The other guy's like, if we win 70 games in baseball, they'll just show up. Let's just stay there. No, that wouldn't sit well with him if that was the Mets. No fucking way. He'd fucking lose his shit. Okay? So the bottom line is you want an owner like this.
That.
You want an owner like that. Otherwise, sell the fucking team if you're not like that.
The Mets have an owner like that.
They do. And that's why I think the Mets are inevitably going to get there because the owner's not going to stand for this. So
Just got to be patient.
No, but it's not going to happen overnight. But I'm telling you right now, they're headed in the right direction in spite of what's happening. The bottom line is Robert Kraft took that fucking doormat of an operation and turned it into the greatest franchise in football, and he did it in 20 years. That's fucking amazing. Okay, they went from being embarrassed 46-10 in the Super Bowl to winning 6 fucking Super Bowls, and they've appeared in 9. That's fucking ridiculous in this era where free agent, you can't hold on to players. It's almost
Dude,
impossible.
so here's my thing. Because of that, to me, it's almost like it makes sense to say because of that 20-year
run, that historic run, 2 decades.
It makes all of them the best at what they do. To me. And now, here's where I also agree with you. The litany of awful decision-making that has happened since then has tainted it.
The same guy.
It is tainted.
The guy who's supposed to be one of the biggest reasons
right.
why. The Holy Trinity is supposed to be Kraft, Belichick, and Brady. And fucking Belichick is dropping the fucking ball like you read about.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck
I
are you
truly
doing?
believe he was a massive part of that.
He was. He was the head coach.
Right.
I never said
he is falling off.
he wasn't part of it. And I've always said I think the man can coach. His GM moves, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. When Rob Gronkowski retired, let's start with Gronk. When Gronk retired, the Pats drafted 2 tight ends in that draft. 2. And I said this, I'll be very clear. I was not expecting them to find the next Gronk. That guy doesn't exist. What I was expecting,
they trying to do that?
I don't know what they were trying to do because neither one of these fucking guys played in a game.
Right.
He wasted 2 picks on 2 guys.
Was that last year?
No, it was the Brady's last year in New England.
Okay.
So
were those the same 2 guys that were there last year, or no? Those were different tight ends.
Neither one of them got out of year 2.
Ugh.
Okay, and neither one of them ever played a significant down. He wasted 2 fucking picks on 2 guys I've never heard of. I can't remember their fucking names. I can't tell you what they look like. Okay.
But then even last year, he
and
had
then
2 decent tight ends, and didn't use them.
In Brady's last year, when he could have had DK Metcalf, or D.J. Samuel, or A.J. Green, he fucking drafts N'Keal Harry, which basically ended Tom Brady in New England. That was it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they
spend all that money.
They get Antonio. Oh wait, hold on. It gets better. Then they get Antonio Brown, and he gets accused of something that he was later found not guilty of. He's not actually found guilty and not gone to jail. And Belichick cuts him after 11 days in 1 game, which sends Brady into like, whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Do you have a law degree, Belichick? No, you don't. All Belichick had to say was, look, he has not been charged or found guilty of anything yet. If he's found that way, then we'll address it. But you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. And if he had said that, every fucking reporter would have shut up. Because everything he would have been saying would have been 100% true. Antonio Brown was a nut job, by the way, but was found innocent of this crime. And Belichick cut him after 11 days. Because he was accused of something by this crazy bitch who every time he gets a contract shows up looking for money. She had a track record of doing this with him. And Belichick played judge and jury. And again, he had just played against the Dolphins. He had 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. And he had him and Edelman. And Brady was fucking giddy as it. He was fucking laser show. And he dumps him for an accusation that was just fucking unbelievable. Then he convinces fucking Kraft that Brady is done. Boom! Mushroom cloud number 3. Brady goes and fucking wins a Super Bowl at 43 in a COVID year with Bruce fucking Arians.
Well, then he empties the purse.
Then he goes on scorched earth
and hits on no one.
He gets 4 guys. Not one of them makes a Pro Bowl.
How many million?
$175 million in 3 days.
What was it? A couple of defensive players and
1. He got 1 guy right, Matt Judon. Defense nailed him. The other 4 all misses. All of them. Okay, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, and
Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, who's still on the roster. And actually, no, Aguilar's gone. He's been traded. Jonnu Smith, gone, traded. 2 of them are already out of here. Not 1 Pro Bowler in 2 years. Not 1. Wait, it's not over. Then
Matty.
Then he brings in, after their offense, Mac Jones finishes runner-up to Jamar Chase for Offensive Rookie of the Year. They actually make the playoffs. They win 10 games, and their offense is ranked 10th in this kid's rookie year. This should be positive,
and then
right?
that's when Josh McDaniels leaves.
Yeah, McDaniels leaves. So what does this bumbling boob do? This fucking moron, this fucking... He brings back the 2 worst coaches in the NFL, puts them together, and says, take my second-year quarterback to glory. And their offense goes from 10, ready for this? Are you sitting down? 10 to 27 in 1 fucking year.
And here's the other thing. Like, you can say whatever you want about Josh McDaniels. He's one of the most decorated offensive coordinators.
That's because Brady was his guy.
I know. But still, he is.
Yeah, well, without Brady.
And you go from him to Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Why on earth would you do that?
That would be the definition of falling off a cliff. Right, Max?
I can understand the Brady thing more than that.
I'm saying.
That's how bad that decision is.
It's awful.
I can understand him getting rid of Brady more
than
I can understand him bringing in Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Like, that is just an off-the-wall, bonkers bad decision.
Here's the problem with the Brady thing. The real problem. And Pete and I had this conversation. And Pete doesn't get it either. It's like, fucking, maybe you will. I give you more. I think you'll actually listen to something.
Give you more credit.
No, because you'll actually listen to something.
I agree with you on Brady.
But the thing is,
I'll never argue that he's not the greatest of all time.
Pete tried to say to me, well, look, most quarterbacks at that age fall off a cliff. And I said to Pete, and I've said this to everyone, there's an exception to every fucking rule of everything. And here's the problem. Bill Belichick, who's supposed to be the smartest fucking guy in the history of this sport, had this guy in the locker room for 20 fucking years.
He witnessed it.
And after 20 years, he didn't figure out he was different than everybody else. How the fuck is that possible? Because when you see something that you've never seen before.
Up close.
For
20 years.
For 20 fucking years.
Life in prison.
A generational talent, if you will. Okay? The Michael Jordan of football. Okay? The guy, how do you not figure out, all right, he's probably going to last longer than most guys.
Right. So I know I have my process with players, but
there's an exception. He's a little different.
He's a little different.
He doesn't fit the mold, dare I say.
There's something off.
Yeah, there's something odd about this duck.
Yeah.
In fact, the first indicator that he was different was when he was the fourth in the depth chart, and Robert Kraft to this day tells his story. He's coming in for film night. He buys the pizza because the rookie's got to do that. He passes the owner in the hall. Hasn't played it down. Looks this multi-billionaire successful. This guy shits gold. Okay? He fucking looks him in the eye and goes, Mr. Kraft. And by the way, this is with Drew Bledsoe on the fucking roster in his prime. And he goes, Mr. Kraft, I'm the best fucking decision you ever made. And just nonchalantly keeps walking. This is the confidence this kid had. And I laugh when people try and tell me.
Yet. He's in love with the
I can't understand how people, these dumbass fucking pinkheads, these fucking pinkheads, you fucking bandwagoner, only check in on Sunday at 1 o'clock, don't know nothing about nothing, and you're going to sit there and tell me that Bill Belichick made this kid? Are you fucking kidding me? What fucking fourth round pick with a fucking $100 million quarterback on the roster is prime goes to his owner? I'm the best fucking choice you ever made.
Dude.
I'll give you a hint. The initials are GOAT.
Bill Belichick probably didn't give two shits about him.
Bill Belichick didn't draft him.
Right.
Dick Rabine talked Bill into doing it.
So he probably didn't even know who he was until a few weeks into camp, and he's like, "Oh, this Brady guy's pretty good."
I want to ask America this, given what we now have seen with Patricia and Judge and the onslaught of money and also the crap that this guy's fucked up. Do you honestly think that this guy, on purpose, didn't draft Tom Brady 5 times in a row so he could steal him at 199?
Of course, yeah, exactly.
Do you actually fucking believe he's that smart?
Of course not.
No fucking way is he that smart. And he's proven it with every fucking thing he's done. Okay? So don't give me this fucking bullshit. And it's like, and I keep saying it, 77 and 87, 79, 80, whatever the fuck it is without Brady, and one playoff win in 10 years. This guy ain't the greatest coach.
78 and 89, I think it is now.
Whatever it is. He is below average for 10 years. He is not the greatest coach that ever lived.
That was funny when you were like, that's fucking Jeff, what's his
That's
face?
Jeff fucking Fisher.
Jeff Fisher.
Has anybody got Jeff Fisher in the GOAT conversation?
No.
No, and Jeff Fisher actually went to a Super Bowl.
Dude, Jeff Fisher, when your team
Jeff Fisher took his team.
It's 8 and 8.
Yeah,
it's 8 and 9.
Yeah. Pete Carroll had a better record with the Patriots than Bill Belichick did until Brady showed up. Let's be clear about this. Pete Carroll went to 2 playoffs with Drew Bledsoe. Bill Belichick, Drew Bledsoe, 5-11. With a defense that Bill Parcells drafted that had been to a Super Bowl, that defense, and Joel was singing this fucking thing about how great the fucking Pats defense was in the Brady era. Hey, Joel, newsflash nut job. Did it ever occur to you that one hand washes the other? Because you're going to tell me that with Drew Bledsoe, who was a 4-time Pro Bowler, that they went 5-11 with that same fucking defense. Bledsoe comes out, Brady goes in, they win the fucking Super Bowl. I don't know, Joel. Perhaps one hand washes the other. What do you think, Joel?
I think so.
Had the Philadelphia defense not crapped themselves at halftime, Joel, and totally upstaged your quarterback who outplayed the best fucking quarterback in the league right now, is it possible you'd have won the Super Bowl, Joel?
Would have won it in a landslide.
In a fucking landslide. Wouldn't have been close. You're up 21-10. The kid makes one mistake, and that's
it would have
it.
been the game we predicted.
Yeah.
Had the defense shown up at all.
Here's why I laugh at him, and I love Joel, but this is why I swear I'm starting to think God put me on this earth to check Joel, because honestly, you can't sit there and blame the defense and then tell me that defense made Tom. No, Tampa Bay defense was the best top 5 defense in football. They were 7-9 the year before Brady got there. Brady shows up at 43 and they win the fucking Super Bowl in a COVID year. Are you fucking? He threw 43 fucking touchdowns. By the way, Dominic Foxworthy, how is a big shitburger for you? Oh, the Tampa Bay defense carried Tom Brady. 43 touchdown passes? He threw 43 fucking touchdown passes, you dumbass, and they carried him across the finish line.
How much did he throw for in the
playoffs? He was ready for this. He was what was he? He was 10-3 touchdown interceptions, 10 touchdown passes, 3 picks. In the playoffs. In the playoffs.
In the Super Bowl run?
That was fun. He was 10-3 and completed like 60. And they carried him.
So he threw more than 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Right? Because they play 3 rounds?
Yeah. And the defense carried him? No. The Denver Broncos carried Peyton Manning.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Yeah. That was carried. Yeah. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't carry Tom Brady.
Tom Brady pushed them.
Tom Brady pushed them to a Super Bowl. And the fact that you can't understand that, Joel, is why I laugh at you. Okay?
I think he can understand that.
He's too busy trying. He doesn't.
Joel just wants to be the contrarian sometimes. He gets it.
Does he ever?
That's why, like you were saying, a lot of times he talks himself back to the point that you're making.
You got to let, as my father taught me, sometimes, son, in life, you just got to let the idiot talk himself back to reality.
Not an idiot.
No, but he's a very good actor. I would argue he's the Tom Hanks of this show.
Let me tell you something. So I don't know if Pete watches this.
He does.
Does he really?
Yeah, Pete watches.
So listening to you and Pete talk, it really reminded me so much of the arguments that me, you, and Joel get into.
Oh yeah.
And you know what it makes me realize? So with your friends, you have a little more respect. Okay? With your friends. Mm-hmm. But I don't consider myself a friend. I'm more like your little brother.
You are.
Because when I hear
you're more than a friend.
When I hear and I'm glad. I mean, it's like we're family, legit family. Because it's funny when I listen to you talk to Pete, and you'll literally mid-sentence go, "You're so fucking dumb."
Yeah.
And neither one of you blinks.
No. We've been calling each other stupid our whole lives.
You just move on to the next one. And then when he's like, when you were talking about who the leader is, and you were saying it's Brown and Tatum, and he was like, who was the leader, Michael Jordan? And you were like, Scottie Pippen. And he was like, no, there was no fucking Pippen. And you were like, shut the fuck up.
No, what I said was it was Jordan and Pippen. It was their team.
Right.
But
and
Jordan
was
was
saying Pippen didn't exist. And
I'm
you
like,
said,
yes,
shut
he
the
did.
fuck up.
He did exist. He was the number. You got to have a number 2.
And when you
a championship team like this year, Denver had who? Jokic and Murray. You got to have that other guy. Batman has to have his Robin.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying.
I think Murray might be closer to Jokic than Pippen was to Jordan. What do you think?
Well, Jordan's arguably the greatest player there ever lived.
That's what I'm saying. Jokic isn't that good.
Not yet, but if he keeps doing what he's doing, he could get there. He's definitely talented. He's definitely smart. He's unselfish. He's everything you want in a superstar. And in today's league, where it's all about the brand, he'd give a fucking rat's ass about his brand.
He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't care. He's a throwback. He reminds me of Tim Duncan.
He
reminds me a lot of Tim Duncan.
Because
that's a good thing if you're Denver.
He plays aloof. He's like, huh?
No, he loves to play, but he loves his teammates. He actually cares about his teammates succeeding. He really does. And by the way, he doesn't say that. They say it about him.
Yeah.
That's cool. How you know it's real. Cool. That's cool. That's really cool. And Brady was like that a lot. And so, by the way, Eli Manning was like that. There are guys that are like this, okay, in other sports.
But look, let's not get off the path. What I was bringing this up to tell you is, thank you for calling me dumb and cursing at me because it lets me know that I'm like your brother. Okay?
Thank you for calling me a deranged idiot.
No, because, it lets me know. Okay, I'm like your little brother.
You're not a deranged idiot. And Pete's not stupid. He just says things every now and then that make me go,
listen how dumb you are.
No, because he's
that
too.
Was your
Here's my
listen
problem.
how dumb you are.
No, what I'm saying is,
it was hilarious, and it was so funny because when I heard it, I go, "Oh, he says that to me sometimes. He says that to Joel."
So
sometimes.
you consider that an honor?
I do. It lets me because you wouldn't talk like that to Skinner. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't do that.
Oh no!
I can tell by the way.
Or Jimmy.
Right. There's more of that friend.
Or Sean.
That's more of that friend.
And I love those guys, but we're not
we're
not at the stage yet where I can call you an idiot, or you can call me an idiot.
Where you wouldn't just reach back and go, "You dumb idiot."
With anyone, no, or John, or Jimmy, or Sean.
I don't know. Maybe it's because those guys would end up fighting you or something. Maybe like fuck off. But it's just a different relationship.
Pete would be more likely to fight me than anybody. Pete would be more likely to fight me. But anyway,
really?
Yeah, he would.
Seriously?
Yeah, he would. We've had a number of.
Well, because you were brothers, so you fought.
Yeah, we fought. Yeah, that's the thing. We're actual brothers.
It's different.
And again, none of the guys that I've had on this show are dumb. But every now and then they say something that's so out of left field. It's like, where are you getting that from? And again,
but you don't go hard at them the way you.
No, because I'm just like I know that, or I've learned that most people don't share my passion for sports.
Sure.
So it's not fair for me to expect them.
That's a great point.
That's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair, and that's why when I get mad at Joe, but he doesn't have the passion for sports that I have, and that's okay.
Joe loves sports,
not the way I do.
No, but he loves.
I'd say he love it.
You can't say like your love is better than his.
No, it's just no. I'm saying it's my thing's more intense. Like I'm fucking want to know every little fucking.
That's not your love.
I want to know.
That's your brain.
I want to know my milk. I want to know the milk and crannies of every fucking.
That's not about sports, my friend. I don't know if you didn't know this.
I'm not like that about a lot of stuff.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm really not.
Bullshit. That's who you are.
You think I'm like that with everything?
You're intense, yeah.
I don't think so.
Dude, you could turn in the flip of a hat. If I brought up an 80s movie, you would turn into fucking Siskel and Ebert and argue me to death.
If I saw it, yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's if I saw it. Or if I
anything that's that's relevant to you, you are intense.
For example,
about.
Freddie got fingered. I've never seen that movie.
Of course, yeah. You don't give a fuck about it.
I've never seen it. I don't know why. Some people like it, some people hate it. But out of sheer curiosity, I probably should have checked it out by now. Because that movie's kind of weird. Some people love it, some people can't stand it. It's weird.
If you were talking about any part of your life, you were intense.
Any part of my life?
Yeah. Dude, the way you used to come home and talk about fucking ADT.
When you managed,
you don't think that was intense?
When you managed 25 guys.
That wasn't sports.
No, but that's when you're managing 20. You've managed people.
I know.
That, oh my fucking God. Like, every day is a fucking, what's going to happen?
But not everybody's intense like that.
I think you were pretty intense.
I'm not saying I'm not.
Just in a different way.
Yes.
But I think you had, you had a, we were talking about
it's about like locking in and just getting too obsessed with something.
Yeah, because you're, and my thing is I have a need to make sense as I get older because I didn't make a whole lot of sense when I was younger. I pissed away my talent. I didn't fucking
pissed away your talent.
I did.
You broke your fucking neck.
Yeah, but I should have overcome that. That was mental.
Shut the fuck up.
I should have.
Right now.
I should. How do you know?
That's some horseshit.
You don't. How do you know?
Broke your fucking neck. Don't talk to yourself.
I made a full recovery.
Okay, so you might have physically made a full recovery, but breaking your neck, that's not, more than a physical.
Well, it's not breaking your ankle or pulling your hamstring.
That's
not that kind of shit.
Close to death shit.
Yeah. But my point is that like as I've gotten older, it's like I have a need to make more sense.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you.
No,
I just think that you're being hard on yourself about that.
But that's how I got to where I was because that's the way I always was.
Sure.
So why wasn't I about that when I was about everything else? That's the thing.
Yeah.
So my thing is sometimes with that I thought that this was destiny or something telling me something. This isn't meant to be because you don't break your neck playing basketball. You don't. You don't do it. So it's a contact sport. At least it was back when I played. But I mean, the odds of that happening, you better just being struck by lightning. than what happened to me. So, I mean, that's how fucking weird it was.
Dude, I feel like I'm still wasting my talent.
You may be.
In life. Yeah. Just in life in general.
I mean,
I feel like I would rather enjoy my life than, like, go hard and be everything that I could be.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but like,
because
it eats at you sometimes in the back of your head. Like, you know what, motherfucker? You could have done some special shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not talking about athletically right now. I'm just talking about in life in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at some point you're gonna stop playing sports unless you're fucking.
If I had to do it all over again, and everybody asks themselves this question at some point in their life, it wouldn't have been so much about sports. It'd be like I would have cared more about my grades. Because whenever I cared, I got good grades, and I should have loved. The weird thing is now I fucking love education and books. And I read a lot. I wish I loved
books?
that. Yeah, like online and stuff. I don't own a lot anymore, but I read a lot of stuff online.
I just read sports news.
Yeah, well, that's too. That's
like all I read.
I read that all day, and when I'm not reading that, I read other stuff. Whether it's I do it because again
novels and shit.
Yeah, and I also do a lot of current event stuff.
Dude, I can't stay awake if I read that shit.
I just can't.
If I start reading a book,
I have this, and maybe it's the history and political science thing in me, but I have this need to know what's going on in the world all the time.
See, our minds are different.
Yeah.
I'd rather say, no, I know enough.
I know weird fucking shit. Like, by the way, the Chinese Navy is 748 ships. Who the fuck knows that?
You.
Yeah, me. But I don't work for the government. So if I don't work for the government, why the fuck would I know that?
So you don't need to know.
I don't need to know it. It's just like, but I know it. I know that the U.S. Air Force fucking has over 800 active planes. They're by far the largest Air Force in the world. Like, but I know shit like that. It's fucking ridiculous. It's just, I don't know why. So anyway, the thing is like, but with sports, you know, I have this. The reason I love this show is this is my outlet.
Yeah.
This is my. If I see something on TV that I'm like, oh, whoa, no, it's always sports related. Obviously, it's like I don't know. You're not gonna fucking get away with that. wait till I do my show with Tom. I'm gonna fucking bring this up. I'm gonna get this guy on this today. Like fucking, because if it's out of the fucking where the fuck, you know, that drives me crazy. Nothing like look, if you're gonna say something, do your fucking research. Like me and Pete actually brought up Nick Wrong.
I heard.
Yeah.
Me and Joel were talking about that fucking guy the other day.
Motherfucker, I can't.
Dude, I've sent some of his takes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this take really aged well. We're trashing somebody who's amazing now.
Yeah, he's a fucking knucklehead. He's like Skip Bayless 2.0.
He's like Max Kellerman. He's like all those guys.
He's a fucking. How does Nick Wright have a fucking job? Like you gotta be shitting me, man. Did you do any fucking research at all?
So anything? I think a lot. Sometimes I think guys give crazy takes
just to get clicks.
No,
that's true.
And then also, if they're actually right on one of the crazy takes, then they're like, I called it. It's like, well, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're like one for the century.
Exactly.
Good for you.
Exactly.
Hey, dickhead, a broken clock's right twice a day.
Right.
like,
I called that.
Yeah, I mean, so no.
Look at the 10 that you had no clue what the fuck.
But that's my thing. Like, and with this is the thing about the Patriots. When Tom Brady left, I heard people saying this was the right decision in New England.
Yeah, that's bad.
That drove me fucking up a wall. I'm like, how on earth is letting the greatest football player of all time walk when he can still play?
That's terrible.
It is so hard to find a quarterback in that league. You look at the teams that have been searching for a quarterback for like 40. Look at the fucking Jets. It took them. Now they have Aaron Rodgers, but it was like they've gone 59 years without a. You go up and down the fucking league. Yeah. I mean, the Colts had Andrew Luck. He got too many concussions at a time. They thought they had Peyton Manning's replacement. Now they're in this fucking quagmire. They've been bringing in these over-the-hill quarterbacks 3-4 years in a row, and they can't get one. The quagmire of fucking word like quarterback. You're in quarterback hell. You can't find that guy. It's so hard to find. Dan Marino. Look at Dan Marino when he left the Dolphins. I mean, they have 2 now, but 2 is 1 concussion from retirement. How long did how many quarterbacks did the Miami Dolphins have since Dan Marino? Look at that fucking list. Are you kidding me? And then Buffalo, when Jim Kelly left, it was like 8. Then finally, Josh Allen showed up 20 years later. But it was like 20 fucking years. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like, how do you? So if you have that dude in the room and he can still play, he has to be carried off that field, as far as I'm concerned.
He's one of the guys it's worth holding on to for too long.
Yes.
Because of what
he did.
20 years.
He earned the right.
If you hold him for a couple more years, okay.
He earned the right to call his shot. Michael Jordan earned the right to call his shot. Magic, Bird, guys like that. They earned it. Kobe earned it. Shaq earned it. Duncan earned it. Like guys like that, let them fuck. There's an exception to every fucking LeBron. Well, he never stays in one fucking place. You don't go where LeBron's not staying.
But he earned the right to say, I'm going to go where the fuck I want.
The second that team starts to fade, he'll be on the next jet. He's proven this time and time again.
They trained to judge.
Now look, has LeBron earned the right to call his shot? Yes, he has.
Yes.
But I don't know where he's going to call it from. So I mean, the thing is, Steph Curry has earned that right. Okay? Yeah. So I mean, Brady's that dude. Mm-hmm. And honestly, even Brady, a bad Brady, is better than 75% of the league.
Without a doubt.
Even a deteriorated Tom Brady is still a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He still was. So you can't fucking. That's
and
where
his team was in shambles.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. You got to get. I mean, look at it. Everybody needs help. Football is the ultimate team sport. And that's why I jumped down Pete's throat about Dak Prescott, because Dak's always had good talent around him.
Yeah.
You look at Jalen Hurts' first 2 years in Philly. You look at fucking Lamar's career, Jackson's career in Baltimore. I mean, there were guys.
Dak missed a good chunk of the season and led the fucking league.
Your boy Danny Dimes still doesn't have a number one. Now the tight end may turn out to be that dude, but this is the first year we could say he might have a guy.
Dak's had a number one for ages.
Yes. First he had Amari Cooper, and now he has CeeDee Lamb. He's never had this problem.
Somebody before Amari?
Amari's been in the league. Amari got drafted by the Cowboys.
Oh, they drafted
him. He was there. He's always had Amari. Okay, last year Amari was 1,000-yard receiver in Cleveland.
He's always had a decent tight end.
Yep.
He's always had running backs.
He had Jason Witten for the last 4 or 5 years of his career, who's a Hall of Famer. And then he gets this guy Schultz. They let Schultz walk. Yeah. I still that was the.
That's a good point you made. That could
hurt them because they had a good.
Because you brought in Cooks, but
that's a receiver.
If you let Schultz go, it's almost like you trade.
It's almost a trade-off.
Yeah.
Because who's the tight end? And I said this. I'm like, look.
I think they might have drafted.
They drafted a tight end. I don't know who he is. I'd have to look it up. But the thing is, that dude was established.
Yeah.
And he wasn't over the hill.
No.
So, I mean, in quarterback, look, to me, Dallas made all good moves, but that was the one thing I thought they made a mistake on. Because they had to replace Amari Cooper. They did that with Brandon Cooks. Okay, fine. But you had the tight end. You keep the tight end. You find a way to keep him. I don't know who took him or what they offered him, but unless it was an offer that put him in the top 3 or 4.
Schultz, where did he go?
I don't know where he went. I forget. But anyway, that was my take about Dak, is that he's always had talent around him.
Cowboys got a tight end from Michigan, Luke Schoonmaker.
Schoonmaker or Schoonmaker? Whatever. Schoon.
I don't know. That's a weird one.
Yeah, weird one.
Schoonmaker, maybe.
What was his stats in Michigan? Does it say?
Let's see. 6'5", 251. Big guy.
He's a big dude. How did he do?
2022, started 11 games, caught 34 passes for 418 yards.
How many touchdowns?
3. Not that impressive.
I wouldn't say that's a Schultz material.
No.
I mean, he might turn out to be good. I don't know.
Losing Dalton Schultz in free agency.
I don't know. But anyway, Dak has always had talent on him. Lamar Jackson has not. And, Jalen Hurts struggled until he got receivers. Mac Jones still doesn't have a 1. Danny Dimes still doesn't have a 1.
Texans got Schultz.
He went to the Texans.
To pair with what's-his-face? Bryce Young, right?
Yeah, they drafted him. That could be interesting.
Dude, the Texans might have made some moves.
Well, Bryce Young can play. I know that.
And you give him a good tight end.
To start off with. And they have a running back who's pretty decent, too.
I feel like they made some nice picks.
They might have. Well, the coach is the dude, DeMarco Ryans. He played for them. DeMeco Ryans, he played for them. And they were in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs when he was there. He was good. He was a good player for them.
Linebacker, right?
Yeah, linebacker. So I think he was one of the Niners defensive coordinators of that Niners D. So he knows his shit.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he knows his shit.
Yeah. Those
Houston
fucking defenses are awesome.
Yeah, they're so look, every quarterback needs help. Tom Brady's the only quarterback I've ever seen win without a true number 1. Troy Brown, Deion Branch, David Patton, fucking Fred Coleman. None of those guys would be number 1s on any other team in the NFL. Tom Brady's the only guy I've ever seen do that, Joel. And when that defense was ranked high, so was the fucking offense. So year 1 was the only year it wasn't. And Brady with Troy Brown. And Troy Brown, by the way, that was the first and only year Troy Brown had 1,000 yards receiving. It's because Tom Brady became his quarterback. So One hand washes the
The
other.
only
there.
consistent true one he had was Gronk.
As a tight end, yeah. He won 3 Super Bowls before he met him.
Yeah,
That's the thing. And he won a Super Bowl where Gronk didn't play in it because he was hurt.
that's true.
So, I mean, Tom Brady is Tom
Oh,
Brady.
really?
Yeah.
I thought he lost that one. I thought that was the
Atlanta.
Giants one. Oh, Atlanta.
He didn't play in the Atlanta Super Bowl.
He didn't play in the first Giants one either, did he? Was he just
07,
not-
he wasn't there. That was
he just
Moss.
wasn't on the team.
That
yet.
was Moss.
That was
and,
Moss. That's right.
He had Stallworth and he had Welker and he had Gaffney. They were loaded.
They were loaded.
They were loaded.
God, that team.
And they still might be the greatest team I've ever seen.
Best
but,
offense ever.
Yeah, that 4 and he 5,000 yards, 70%, whatever he fucking completed was disgusting.
I was so pissed when everybody said, "Oh, their offense really wasn't that good." Shut the fuck up.
36 points a game.
So many people said that because the Giants won. It's
30
like, look, we know the Patriots were a better team than the Giants.
They beat him in New York when Brady was on both legs.
And the Giants, it was just one of those days where shit went their way.
That's why it's so hard to win in the NFL. You don't get 4 out of 7 to get it right.
Right.
That's why the NFL is the NFL,
A lot
because
of
the
shit
best team
went
doesn't
right.
always win.
Right. So much shit went right for the Giants.
Yeah. And by the way, you know what the hardest thing to do in the NFL is? Beat a good team twice in the same season.
That's true.
That's the hardest thing to do in the NFL.
What about 3 times?
That's even rarer.
Because that shit happened to the Giants this year.
But you
Eagles,
guys,
quack, quack, bam!
from a talent perspective,
We were outmatched.
you were. It wasn't even
By
close.
a long shot.
It wasn't even close. You had 2 weapons on offense. They had 8. It wasn't even fucking close. So, I mean, the thing is,
They had 8.
they did. It seemed like they had 8 out there.
Well, their offensive line
By
was
the
a
way,
weapon.
they had the best offensive line in the NFL. Talk
And the
about
best defensive line.
Yeah, talk about the perfect storm.
And skill position players.
Quarterback from Alabama. Fucking-
Quarterback who made leaps.
yeah.
And bounds,
Well, you give him
beyond.
2 number 1s. What is going to fucking happen? He has 2 number 1s, not 1, 2. Just like fucking Tua in Miami has 2 number
He
1s.
had 2 number 1s. Good running game because
Yeah.
his running also adds.
He's
to the
a
running
dual threat quarterback with the best offensive line in the league in front of him. Yeah, it was a perfect storm. So the thing is, still can't believe they fucking lost that Super Bowl. But
Dalton Schultz has not received any offer from Cowboys.
they never even offered.
I don't know, but
They never made him an offer. How
I'm
old
not
is
sure if they never. But this is a. So this is an article. I don't know how old it is. It might have been before they made him an offer. Can you grab me one?
he? Yes, I can.
I'm sorry.
No.
Thanks, dude.
Anyway, so yeah, look, this is Dak's year. Dak has to win this year. He has to at least get to the Super Bowl. If he doesn't,
Yeah.
and
Well, then to your point, I think we already know the answer to this question, and you and I said this after that game, that game was on Dak.
it was.
I think we already because
Everybody not named Pete knows that.
well, yeah, because Pete eventually said, "Look, if it's put up or shut up this year, I think it's already past put up or shut up."
no, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, he's not going.
Oh, but that's not going to happen, is it?
I'm saying that he has to get there at least.
That's not going to.
If he gets there and loses, I think he comes back. If they lose at home again to another team that they have a better record than, that's it.
But I guess.
And they went in, I'll tell you right now, that fucking defense went into San Fran when that offense was dealing and kept them in that game.
They held them.
They held them down. And
Despite 2 picks.
all he had to do was just play to his talent.
Mistake free.
Just don't make a mistake. That's it. Don't even play, just don't make a mistake.
Right, so that is an interesting possibility to think about. If he actually plays to his potential, which I think everybody thinks he has in there, because he has spurts of it. If he can eliminate the mistakes, I guess the Cowboys could be pretty damn good.
Last year was the worst year he ever had in terms of interceptions. Before that, he was very accurate or very protective with the ball. So it was. Look, it may have been
Out of character.
It may have been an outlier year for him. All I said to Pete was, because Pete's like, "What do you want to do, Trey?" I'm like, "No, he has to be better though.
Yeah.
He has to be better. If he played if he had the year, here's the thing. This is hard to say, but if he had the performance 2 years ago, last year with that defense, the Cowboys might have won the Super Bowl last year.
You think so?
He was 34-10 2 years ago. 68% of his. He was dialed in. Now here's the thing.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to San Fran in the first round when he didn't know the rule.
Oh, that was the slide?
That was the slide.
That's how good they were that year?
They had the home game against San Fran. They lost that game 14-13, and he didn't know the rule. So he cost them that game too. Pete's trying to tell me
You
they
mean
were
about how they had to wait for the ball to be set?
well, Pete's trying to tell me that San Fran was the better team. I'm like, no. Dak got outplayed in both
this
those
year,
games.
I think Dallas was better than them this past year.
Better than who?
San Fran.
I think they are. They should be now.
No, I'm talking about this past playoffs.
They should have beat them.
I thought Dallas
should have won that
yeah.
game in San Francisco. If he didn't have those 2 picks, they would have. Yeah,
But
so
not
he has
only
to be
the
better.
picks, he also had missed throws.
He made some bad throws.
He had fucking CeeDee Lamb on the
He's
sideline
trying to tell me,
beating the
well,
defense.
San Fran's known for their defense. I'm like, Pete, San Fran has nothing to do with him missing open people.
Right.
If they're open and he's overthrowing them, that's not San Fran's defense. That's your quarterback sucks.
Dude, I remember them breaking down the routes after saying he should not have thrown the ball here. The play.
He crapped himself.
Yeah, it was bad.
He crapped himself the way Jaylen Brown crapped himself in Game 7 in Boston. Poop, 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 poop.
Boop,
So,
boop, boop.
boop,
All right.
boop, boop, boop. Anyway,
I gotta sign off.
we got to sign up for tonight. But, well, it's going to be back. This is our first, it's been 2 weeks almost. We will return probably Thursday night. I think Joel's going to be here. Baseball will be back on Friday. And look, we are counting down to training camp. We are 6 days, almost 5 days in counting. Saquon Barkley, swallow your fucking pride, man. For your own sake.
Just
I
do
know
it.
it's
Tough to swallow. Just shove it in there.
Just shove it in there. Just shove it in there. Take the 12-5. And by the way, if you play well, you'll make more money. That simple. That fucking simple.
Push the pride.
So until then, we'll see you on Thursday. The redoubtable one. Good to have him back. Missed him. The highly questionable one, Audrey Miliaccio. We will see you guys Thursday night. Again, boys and girls, lay off the AD or the AR, Aaron Rodgers. Loose, boys and girls. Stay loose.